Hey, Steve Zook, welcome back to Pokesoo channel here and the Guitar Ladder System. I want to continue to kind of share little bits and pieces of the Guitar Ladder System because it's so powerful. And again, folks, it's a result of over 40 years of work. And as I said before, I studied with Joe Pass when I was 22. I'm 62 now. And he used to say, simplify your thinking, and he used to talk about learning chords in terms of a series of chords, so that anytime you think of one chord or end up at one chord on the guitar, you know many places to go in a musical fashion that sounds beautiful and musical, not just jumping around. So that's why things like smooth voice leading, like Cycle 1, are so important. And learning the 10 systems of improvisation that are interweaved into my cycles in a very organic fashion, and learning how to create more modern sounds. And I'll tell you, folks, if you like chord melody, this makes it easy. But the main point is you need to develop improvisational skills. And by developing improvisational skills, you just wake up your musical mind. You learn how to compose, learn how to do your own arrangements of standards. It's really the key. There are single note studies in my system as well, but the single note patterns the chordal work is really the key to really waking up that musical ear, waking up the musical mind. For samples, send me an email to pokesoo@gmail.com, but the new price is $2.99. I'm still selling a few at last year's price of $1.99 because of a grant from somebody. He's chipping in the extra 100. So, it's thousands of dollars of guitar instruction for only $1.99, and it's 240 studies, 240 videos, 240 charts. I don't send it to you all at once because it would be overwhelming and it would not be effective. So I do one or two at a time. But let me just share. I like to share a little something every day. So let's just take a couple ideas. But this is the main idea behind the Guitar Ladder System: is you're always learning how to resolve chords in a way that's musical, with smooth voice leading and using these different techniques. So here we have, this is a great chord, by the way. This is a dominant 9 chord, but it's actually got the 13 on top. You can flat the 9, get a little more flavor. Or you can do it like this, like the Ted Green approach, where you get the 13th with the side of your finger, makes it a really nice. If you do it that way, that resolves nice to the bi-chord. You can come down, major 13, flat 5, 13, major 9, 6 with a 7 on top. Augmented ref 13, 13, 13, flat 9, major 9, 6 with a 7 on top. So you always want to be learning how to resolve chords and coming up with new ideas. Another example would be, say, using this 13 form. Dominant 13, meaning it has the flat 7 in it, right? So dominant 13 to major 13, flat 5. That's got some interesting. See, there you got some contrary motion because the treble's going up and the bass is coming down. Okay, so that makes, hear that? Or we could go like this. And it's by this constant experimentation. That's why Cycle 1, which is such a great cycle, all the studies it's all designed to work together. This is Cycle 1. It's all designed to work together, folks. And then you go through Cycle 1 and you add that shading. See that? Again. And when you find something that works, you exhaust it. Again, it's about practicing every day, not just playing. There's times when you just play, but if you practice, have a specific goal, and have really organic, innovative material like the Guitar Ladder System that thinks outside the box, you're going to make some massive progress. I don't know of anything else out there. Nothing even close. The Mickey Baker book, many years ago when I went through that, had just like inklings of the Guitar Ladder System in it. I don't mean this in an egotistical way. I like the Mickey Baker book, but it just had it was 1% of what's in the Guitar Ladder System. I took that idea of learning to put chords together in a musical fashion and just blew it up big time. But I remember years ago going through the Mickey Baker book. I thought it was kind of cool, but it just presented just a schmidge, just a 1%, of the total program. That's why the guitar ladder system has so many studies. You just keep learning more about how to resolve. So we could do that. We could go like this, 13 chord to a 13 like that. That's kind of nice. It has a nice flavor. It's like learning musical sentences, folks. And like I said, this took 40 years to develop, and it was through watching my students make massive progress. And then I always suggest to my students, play the arpeggio, and then the next chord. That's a good thing to do too. But there's no end to what you can do. There's just certain chords you'll find that you love to hear and want to learn, more ways to work with them. Like I love this major 13 form. I like to come down to then the 7. See that smooth voice? See, everything's nice. See that how close together what I'm doing? That's one of the reasons it sounds. And don't let the simplicity of that diminish it. Diminish, right? Because it is important. Just like in cycle 1. See, I got the smooth voice leading, small interval skips. Same thing here. Major 13, dominant flat 13. I can continue with this idea. There's no end to what you can do, but you have to have a system. You have to have something systematic that keeps exposing your ear to new harmonic territory. This is huge, folks. It's huge. And I'm not just saying this trying to sell the course. Sure, I love to sell them, but I'm not making these stories up. I've had students that have achieved like supernatural growth. I mean, just really shocking. Like I don't even know how it's possible. And I finally figured out it's because of just the subconscious mind can very easily absorb the language of music when it's presented with the material in the right way. That's why Joe Pass made the suggestion. He wasn't the most verbal guy in the world, but Joe Pass used to talk about do chord melody. See, what am I doing here? Kind of hard to talk and play. See there, I'm putting the chords together. Chord melody becomes easy when you start working with the guitar ladder system because you keep coming up with new ways. You can do the same thing many different ways, and you can augment and add color and make your chord melody more interesting without making it sound like too cluttered. And that's really, really the key. If you can understand what I mean by that, just like this, I'm not just going. I'm keeping it. It's still buttery, but yet it's got movement. I'm not just staying, da da da. I'm adding some movement with this. But anyway, it's just like I said, it's a constant exposure to new ideas. You can take a form like this. And you'll find that with the guitar ladder system, you'll learn how to add modern sounds to your playing. You'll learn how to use, and when you find something that works, you want to exhaust it. Like get to know like minor 9 to major 13 flat 5. Hear that? Now that's a nice modern sound. And maybe resolve to here. Now I know the other day I was doing this on a video. I was going major 7, 13. 9. There's no end. And that's what's so fun. You start working the guitar ladder system and you'll be playing and you'll just hear an idea and you'll be taking off. And next thing you know, you're moving all up and down the fretboard. Sure, it takes a little bit of time, but not that much time. So email me, pokesue@gmail.com. I'll get you started on cycle 1. It's a great cycle. It teaches a lot of movement. Then you go through and you add the shading. You learn about that. And like I said, if you love guitar and you love music, you want to wake up your musical mind, wake up your musical ear, this will do the trick for you. And there's a lot of cool single note things as well, but it's the chordal work that's going to give you a lot of movement as well. All right, so anyway. Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.